I once had a conversation with a bus driver, and living in London, the conversation, this is some years back, went like this: that he was quite excited because they were actually going to give bus drivers an increase in their pay with the London weighting, as it was called at the time. Now, obviously, they were spelling W-E-I-G-H-T-I-N-G to add weight because of the pressures of living in London. But his elderly mother was listening to the conversation, and she said, "Why are you getting a London weighting? We're the ones that do all the waiting, those of us who stand at the bus stops." That's never gone from my mind. She just seemed to think that every time she went to a bus stop, it was about waiting. And I think we've all had that experience. You know, when's the bus coming? Has it been delayed? Has something happened along the route that's holding it up? But there are more important things in life than just catching the bus, even though at the moment it might seem the most important thing to you if you're desperate to get to an appointment. But there are big things that God has got that are coming down the line in our direction. Transformation He's going to bring to society, a completion of His plans, a fulfillment of everything that He's got on His heart. And it's very easy to become impatient in the waiting, thinking, is this going to happen? Is this going to come? We could even start talking to one another. You know, where is it? It should have been here 5 minutes ago. You know, the kind of thing. Well, the prophet Habakkuk records God's word as saying this: the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end, and it will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Whilst we're waiting for what the Lord has on His heart, it's not because there have been delays, as there might have been with a bus that we're expecting. There's no delay because there is an appointed time. The challenge is we don't know exactly what that appointed time is. So we are to wait with an expectation. And that expectation is working in us, because as we're waiting, we're looking forward, and an excitement is building in our hearts. And we mustn't let that disappointment of waiting creep in, because it's not a delay, because God has said it will surely happen. So though it linger or seems to linger, we need to wait for it, because God will not prove false. He's speaking of the end. He's speaking of the consummation of everything. When everything is completed and it's all wrapped up and it's wonderful, isn't that worth waiting for? It's more important than the bus. This is what God has on His heart. And there is an appointed time for everything to be completed. And we just need to wait. And as we're waiting, let the waiting transform us, not into complainers that are saying, when is it going to happen, or skeptics, but into people that are increasingly excited, because what God has promised will definitely come to pass.